Well, I put the bucket back on. It's getting really hard to work over there because I messed up when I started this and just started digging immediately. I probably should have gone all the way to the end and worked my way back, although that's not very conducive to having the front end loader on the, well, you guessed it, the front. So I put the bucket back on. I thought I was going to get a little bit of dirt right here. I don't know how apparent that is, but this is a berm right here. And so I was making some pretty good progress, but it was kind of sketchy, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a little bit of a chicken when it comes to the tractor still. Not only do I not want to injure the tractor, break it, you know, scuff it up, or even just cosmetic damage really, but I also don't want to die. It's kind of a big machine, and you know, I can definitely see myself getting severely injured, even though I wear my seat belt every single time, unless I'm changing the implements on flat level terrain, which does happen. I don't put my seat belt on for that. Shame on me. But I'm going to go ahead and say that at 2 miles an hour on perfectly flat ground, I don't see myself doing anything retarded. But and that, again, that's just for the bucket. If there was some crazy heavy implement, I'd probably still do it, even though the chances, I would guess, are still zero. But I digress. So underneath the bucket here, there used to be what appeared to be a rock ring, like somebody was trying to rock in something, make it look kind of pretty. As I come down this area, I can't fit through there, I don't think. It looks really wide, but the branches are really low, and the ROPS is kind of non-negotiable because it goes back to that first point. So I've been coming in over here. It's a little bit more narrow, and if I'm not careful, I think I'm going to lose the lights on the sides of the ROPS, but I'm being pretty careful with them. I thought, well, I'll just scoop this big berm up, and I got started, but the back right tire, as you're sitting on the tractor, kept driving over this rock ring, and that would put me very, very much towards the front, the center of balance towards the front of the tractor over a single tire. You know, I can handle the center of gravity being somewhere between the axles, left to right at 0, you know, degrees. But if it shifts off to one side, I'm no longer cool with that. And so in the past, you know, a couple of weeks ago, I just went ahead and unasked the situation and idented south and out of the AO. But this time I was like, you know what, I'm kind of stuck because I think I just ran into the North American plate again with this rock that's partially buried now. I couldn't find the end to it, and I can't even wiggle it with a shovel, so that might have to wait for the jackhammer. But I couldn't figure out why I couldn't just scoop these rocks up here. The ground is usually pretty loose underneath this. I think it's a bunch of fill dirt. It's very nice dirt, by the way, and it's mixed in with a lot of gravel, as you can see kind of over there. But underneath the trees, I think several years of leaf litter has broken down into dirt over the top of the gravel that's actually probably still here. I mean, I'm running into it all the way over here, so I'm guessing yes. And then this thing poked up over the bucket. I actually haven't even gone over and gotten a good look at it yet, but yep, and it's brought a friend too. So this guy, oh shoot, that's a heavy rock. Might even be heavier than it looks, and it kind of looks heavy. Oh, but look at that. I'm good. I've got all the major rocks out. Anyway, the point was to not really dig these things up, just kind of push them out of the way so it's a little bit more flat over this area, so I can get down there and see if I can't find the end of that rock. But looks like I was wildly successful here. I did have to put the tractor up to 1500 RPMs, which is not very common for me. I'll handle the slower functions and reduced power of idle with this thing because there's less of a chance of me going 5 degrees farther than I should with a bucket and flipping the damn thing over. I'm sure I'll get more comfortable with it as I go. It's not really necessary for me right now, unless I need it, which I did, because dam. That guy will probably make its way up into the wall that the wife's building around the front section of the yard there for the impoundment of some good soil, so we can start having kind of a pretty garden up there again. Yeah, because as I look at it here, the pond that I'm envisioning in my mind, and I'm just trying to get rid of the dirt that doesn't belong in there, I don't think it's going to go as close to this tree as I wanted it to. I'm going to probably bring it out here, maybe a little bit. I'd like to keep these guys if I can. I don't know if you can see them okay, but this guy here is what's known as a purple robe locust. It looks a lot like an oak tree, except for the leaves are kind of like that teardrop shape there, whereas this guy here is an oak. You can see the difference. The leaves feel the same though, which is probably fitting. They're both kind of adapted for this environment. I'm in kind of a high desert area. A lot of cedar here too, as you can see out there. But these guys are actually really pretty. For about 2 weeks a year, they have these huge flowering, I don't know what the hell to call them. Instead of having like flower, they have these real long tendrils of flowers, and it's really cool looking. Bees love it, and I really like the bees, and I'm trying to kind of be helpful to the bees because my ducks are bee destroyers. I used to have hundreds and hundreds of them drinking out of my fountain, which I thought was totally fine, and then I got ducks, and now I don't have bees. At least nowhere near as many as I used to. But yeah, I might actually remove that rock. These guys here are probably going to stay here. They might be useful to fill in crevices in the walls that we're building around the plants, but for my purposes, if I can just get this area kind of flat so that I can work back here without clinching, that would be fantastic. So while he's probably moving on, the rest of these may or may not.